Like many Americans, my family has been impacted by COVID-19. We've been fortunate to only have mild cases, and my own occurrence was the worst, which required me to use 2 inhalers to get better. So I decided that I would like to find an organelle that would be best utilized to help combat COVID-19. I found that the most practical organelle would be known as the plasma membrane. Well, what is the plasma membrane? Good for you to ask. It is a phospholipid bilayer with embedded or attached proteins, and it separates the cell's internal contents from the surrounding environment. To me, it's like a sweater, a fatty sweater. The lipid bilayer or phospholipid bilayer is a thin polar membrane made up of 2 layers of lipid or fatty molecules. These molecules are flat sheets that form a continuous barrier around all cells, so it's its guard protection. To me, it's the virus's skin. After all the other organelles, like the nucleus, which houses the DNA, is kept warm and safe by the plasma membrane. The organelle ribosome is the structure that carries out the protein synthesis under the warmth of the plasma membrane. Another example of organelle is the mitochondria, which in simplest terms carries energy, but also inside the plasma membrane and protected by the plasma membrane. Unlike the need to update vaccines to account for the internal changes of COVID-19, vaccines go inside the plasma membrane and destroy it from the inside. All the variants of this virus have the plasma membrane. So, in comparison to Henry Ford's quote about the production of cars made in a certain way for the everyday man, you can have it any color you want as long as it's black. He made that decision to only have black cars, so that way the cost was low, so that way more people had the ability to pay for and have a car. So, cars in black. In comparison, by utilizing the ins and outs of the plasma membranes, it allows every person to combat COVID-19 in their own home by breaking down the shells from the outside in and destroying the cells of the virus, preventing it from spreading and reproducing. So unlike other organelles that rely on updated vaccines and having the ability to get vaccines and make vaccines, the everyday person can use soap, which is often and always made up of some sort of fatty molecule that tears apart the fatty molecules inside the bilayer of the plasma membrane. But don't just take my word for it. Dr. Dan Corbett from Queen's School of Chemistry and Chemical Engineering has said that soap is a surface active agent, or surfactant for short. These substances are special in the way that they have hydrophobic or water-hating part, as well as hydrophilic water-loving parts. We call these the heads and the tails. So the tails of the soap start to look for an area where there isn't any water, and as they do, they start to surround the virus particles. As they continue to move around, the tails can wedge themselves into the virus's outer layer, their plasma membrane, trying to get to the bit in the middle where there is no water. The effect is similar to like popping a balloon with a pin. As the soap molecule penetrates into the virus coat, plasma membrane, it splits it apart, breaking the virus open, releasing its contents into the surrounding soapy water, which carries them away and destroys them. Soap is something that the everyday person can do and use to do their part in combating COVID-19 by destroying and utilizing the plasma membrane.